A very good evening and good afternoon to everyone present here. I am Obina and I'll be the host for the pre-conference webinar today. I would like to welcome you all to attend the pre-conference webinar on personality traits in conflict management in the organization, organized by Institute for Engineering Research and Publication. Before we get into the session, let me give you a brief introduction about IFERP. IFERP is one of the largest professional associations working to digitize innovation processes. We do this by providing an integrated scientific community, encouraging mutual engagement, examining the potential of the researchers, and fostering a cooperative and collaborative academic environment. Dear participants, we have a request to you all to note down on the upcoming IFERP conferences. We'll be sharing the upcoming conference in the chat box. So the first conference will be Third International Conference on Engineering, Social Science and Humanities, ICESSU, which will be held on 30th and 31st March 2023 at Manila, Philippines. The next is Fourth International Conference on Multidisciplinary and Current Education Research, ICMR, which will be held on 11th and 12th April 2023 at Bangkok, Thailand. The next is the Sixth International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Education, ICMDRSE, which will be held on 19th and 20th March at Manila, Philippines. So here are we are sharing about the Scopus and Web of Science journals to publication. International Journal of Recent and Innovation Trends in Computing and Communication. International Journal of Communication Networks and Information Security. International Journal of Intelligent Systems and Applications in Engineering. Applied Mathematics and Informatics Science. Journal of Reattached Therapy and Developmental Diversities. African Journal of Biological Sciences. European Chemical Bulletin. Proceedings on Engineering Sciences. The Journal for Educators, Teachers, and Trainers. International Journal of Professional Business Review. All the webinar participants will be getting a special fee concession for the conference registration. You can use the coupon of Client35. We have also shared the coupon code in the chat box. You can use the coupon code for registration of the above shared upcoming conferences. Now coming on to the webinar session, before inviting our speaker for the webinar, Dr. Ummi Neema Saria, to take the spotlight, I would like to give an introduction about the speaker and her expertise. Dr. Ummi Neema Saria served as an associate professor in the Faculty of Business and Communication, University Malaysia Perlis. She also holds the post of Head of Center of Excellence for Social Innovation and Sustainability, University Malaysia Perlis, Malaysia. She graduated from University of Uttara, Malaysia, with a Bachelor of Human Resource Management degree in 2000, a MSc Management degree in 2007, and a PhD Management degree in 2014. In her present research, she is interested in organizational behavior and human resource management, with a special emphasis on these two research domains. She has more than 100 journal articles and proceedings, as well as more than 10 books and book chapters to her credit. Her research has been published in a number of prestigious journals, including Kybernetics, International Journal of Innovation Science, Journal of Applied Research in Higher Education, International Journal of Education Management, Humanities and Social Science Reviews, International Journal of Innovation, Creativity and Change, Management Science Letter, International Journal of Psychological Rehabilitation, and Journal of Critical Review. Ma'am, it is a privilege to have you as a speaker for this webinar today, and I invite you to deliver your speech.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bubina, and also thank you very much to IFERP for letting me be as one of the speakers in this pre-conference webinar. Okay, before I go further, let me try to project my slide first. Okay, thank you for your introduction, right? A moment. I would like to share my screen, right?
Yes.
A moment, yeah.
And if the participants, if you have any queries, you can put it up in the chat box. Your questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. Yes, ma'am, you can proceed.
Okay, can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. My name is Umi Naima binti Sarai. I am the associate professor from one of the public university located in the northern region of Malaysia. Okay, we call UNIMAP, University Malaysia Perlis. And I have been engaged with this university since 2002. Okay, so as for today, thank you again for IFERP and all of the committee members for letting me to share some of the knowledge on personality traits and conflict management in organization. All right. So actually, my university is near to the border of Thailand. All right. So we are in the northern region of Malaysia, very nearby to Thailand border. So as for today, here is the layout of my presentation. I think it is also have been stated in the poster, which have been produced by IFERP. Okay, first and foremost, we are going to look at the importance of human behavior and organizational performance. And then we are going to look on the conceptualization of personality. And I only would like to focus on one of the personality traits model called the Big Five personality model. And then we are going to look on the conceptualization of conflict. All right. And there are several types of conflict management. Before, I would like to provide several evidences showing the linkages between how personality types or traits can be mapped to the way of how we can manage our conflict. Okay, first and foremost, before I go further, actually I am from the area of human resource and also organizational management, or sorry, organizational behavior. And of course, these two important key terms, personality and also conflict management, is under the domain of organizational behavior. So before we go further, we need to familiarize ourselves on how we are going to look about the slide that will be projected later. So first and foremost, we need to understand others' behavior as well as to make others understand ours. Therefore, we need to know about the concept of personality. And also studying of behavior, where personality is one of the indicator under the organizational behavior. So it will help us to recognize the pattern of human behavior. Therefore, we can try to manage ourselves not only in handling conflict, but it is also can be met with another type of elements under OB or organizational behavior, such as stress, such as burnout, such as turnover intention. But our intention today is only to look on how personality can be so helpful in determining on how we can manage our conflict management. So this is very important because when we know about our personality, it will help us to create a positive influence on our performance, and this in the long run can project a good level of the organizational performance as well. All right. So like I said before, personality and conflict is under the domain of organizational behavior. So I guess by end of this session, we can know how to create and nurture the acceptable and desired type of personality traits according to what type of conflict management style that are applicable to be used by that time and scenario. So these are the principles aim of this session. So here again, this is important because in order to become a better employee or a better manager, we first need to understand more about ourselves before we can understand how about people behave and why they display those type of behavior. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, we can know which indicator from the personality traits that we are belong to, and at the same time, we can know which type of indicator can be met with several conflict management style that is applicable in the scenario that we are faced with. All right. That's all regarding the introduction. Now let us look at the definitions of personality. Of course, there are several definitions of personality which have been given by the past author. But as for today, I would like to cite the definition as given by Griffin, Philip, and Gully, where they refers personality as a relatively stable set of characteristics that influence an individual behavior. So in this world, there are no people are completely alike, even among or between twins. All right. So When we understand more about the differences, so we will have a better way to manage ourselves in the workplace. So in order to understand human behavior, we must know something about the person and also the environment which shaping the personality of that person. So this is what we become very unique between one to another, because we are all come from different background, different culture, different family, different perception, and also different upbringing. So that's why we are all have a diversity in terms of personality. Okay, factors affecting personality. There might be several type of factor, but in today's presentation, I would like to only bring in two type of characteristic that are forming our personality. The first one, we call it inherited characteristic that genuinely we obtain from our parents. Okay, and the second one, we are also can form our personality based on the learned characteristic. All right, so nobody learns everything by birth, right? So day by day, we are facing with several kind of new things that create also our personality, such as the perception, values, and also attitude. So these two elements are very important in affecting or shaping our personality. These two things we need to remember. Even though inherited characteristic is something that cannot be changed, however, by looking at several of the indicator of personality and by knowing on how several type of indicator of personality is very important in providing the benefit to us as well as another party. So I guess there are no harm for us to start knowing about the indicator, and maybe we can change in order to become a better employee, a better individual, a better mother, a better spouse, a better wife to the other party. So the next one, okay, just now we are looking at the four factor that affect personality, and now there are factors which affecting our learning characteristic. Okay, if you notice in this slide, motivation and practice actually can be considered as the internal factor which form on how we can adopt the learning characteristic. Meanwhile, another two, environment and mental group, is considered as the external factor. Okay, so motivation and practice is something that we can control within ourselves, and environment and also mental group, which whom we are hang out. So the surrounding that we are in, this is also become the facet in shaping our learning characteristic. Right, so these are four main factors that influence what a person learn. These are the root level for our behavior, and everything we do is connected to what we learn. So the important things here is there are two factors that can affect our personality, even though we are tied with our inherited characteristic, but day by day, time by time, we are also can change ourselves by knowing and by learning which personality are applicable and good to be displayed with in facing any of the scenario or problems that we are encountered with. All right, now this is the big five personality traits. Although there are another types of personality, such as type A and type B person, such as MBTI, such as Carl Jung, introvert and extrovert types of personality. However, in today's presentation and based on my reading and also several of the examination, I would like to grab your attention to refer to the big five personality traits, okay, like can be called with the acronym OCEAN, or O for openness, C for conscientiousness, E for extraversion, A for agreeableness, and N for neuroticism. So according to the researcher who are introduced this skill, they believe that all of individuals have a, number of percentage in displaying each of these five personality traits, where openness is referred to the capacity to entertain new ideas and to change as a result of new information. Conscientiousness, the ability to encounter on to get things done. Meanwhile, he or she will have a very high determination in order to complete something. Extraversion is referred to the friendly and easygoing person. Agreeableness is the people that is easy to get along, all right? And the last one, neuroticism, is people that sometimes showing or display some sort of the unstable emotional, such as anger, anxiety, fear, moodiness, and etc. So these five big personality can be known in a simple word by the word ocean. But some of the researcher, they refer this big five model as the canoe, CANOE. All right. But according to this researcher, McCrae and Costa, they call it as the ocean, where if we look at this high score, okay, high score of openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and will be the good image of one person. At the same time, we need to try our best to display a high level, not a high level, I'm sorry, the low level of neuroticism, because it reflects to the a not good image for us to be displayed. All right, now let us look into detail. According to several examination, this is the instrument, a brief version of instrument that is applicable to measure the big five personality for individual. However, this is only contain 10 of item. However, if you look at this is the most popular measurement of big five personality traits. Okay, if you look at here, the 5 dimension can be met with the facet that contain with each of the dimension, where each of these facet correlated with 3 adjectives based on big five personality dimension. Therefore, we can alter our personality if we can well understand of the traits in this facet. Hence, we can create and nurture each of these facets to form our desired personality traits, right? And as long as it creates the positive impact on us and for the other party, so why don't we change? So this is the 5 common one and also how it met with the facet. And later on, we are going to look on several of more details on the measurement of big five personality. All right. So if we look at this, there are 44 items, which I have mentioned just now. But please don't look at the scoring first at the bottom here, at the below here. Okay, because each of the item belong to each of the dimension. So later on, by the end of this presentation, I will share with all of you a link where we can try to take the test to know based on these 5 category or indicator or dimension in which dimension that we are highlight more. All right, but don't look at this scoring first because it will maybe create some of biasness by the time we are doing the test where we can know, we can reveal ourselves in which facet that we are belong in the high percentage. Okay, so again, this is the most popular measurement of big five personality traits. Okay, so in this slide, actually, I have combined all of the facets under each of the dimension. For example, if you look at the extraversion, it only contains of 8 items. So people who are talkative, reserved, full of energy, generates a lot of enthusiasm, tend to be quiet is the reverse question. So it need to be changed, tend to be talkative, right? Has an assertive personality, is sometimes shy or inhabited is the reverse of the item. So it is other way around, and is outgoing and sociable is under the indicator of extraversion. Okay, so later on you can take a test to know where you are in. All right, and based on that we can alter ourselves to make sure that we are in the good indicator of personality. Therefore, we can use that type of information in resolving any type of conflict that happen in our daily life or in our environment, our working environment. Okay, now the third part is about the definitions of conflict. All right. So conflict actually can be referred to any situation in which incompatible goals, attitude, emotion, or behaviors lead to disagreement for two or more parties. I also quote the definitions of conflict based on Griffith et al. 2017, where they define conflict as a disagreement through which two or more parties perceive a threat to their interests, needs, or concern. So the keywords here, conflict is about the disagreement between at least two people. All right. So conflict is not only happen in the workplace. Okay. By knowing about conflict and conflict management style, it will not only help us to help us in dealing the conflict in workplace, but also conflict in our personal and daily life. So now we go further. Conflict is not always bring the negative side to individual or the organization, but the functional behavior or the good type of conflict, all right, the healthy and constructive disagreement or conflict between two or more people resulted in a new ideas, learning, and growth. So we are going to learn about conflict because by knowing about this, by understanding about this, we can maximize our functional behavior in order to increase and nurture the healthy and the good type of conflict. And at the same time, by understanding about conflict, okay, we are trying to minimize ourselves to engage with the dysfunctional behavior because unhealthy and destructive disagreement or unhealthy conflict for sure will result in some of the dysfunctional behavior, and it of course will tarnish our performance and tarnish also our organizational performance. All right. So conflict management and conflict is not always creating a bad effect to us and to our society, but sometimes a good conflict also can help us to bring up new ideas, new innovation, new growth, and also learning. Okay, this is the sources of conflict, all right? The functional conflict, a healthy, constructive disagreement between two or more people where resulted in new ideas, learning, and growth. And this kind of constructive conflict can make both parties develop a better solution when they start thinking and be rational about the conflict. Okay. At the same time, there are another type of conflict or sources of conflict that we call dysfunctional conflict. This conflict refers to the unhealthy and destructive disagreement between two or more people. And this kind of conflict is normally originated based on unstable emotional that we display. So by knowing these two sources of conflict, later on we need to practice which type of personality in order to resolve or to handling the conflict that we engage in our life. Okay, the next one. This is some of the causes of conflict. Right, it can be because of the task conflict where disagreement about the task of goal, and sometimes it can be caused based on the process of conflict in organization. Disagreement happen about how to accomplish a task or goal, and sometimes, most of the time, the causes of conflict is occurred because of the relationship conflict where incompatibility between individuals or group. And the next one, conflict of interest, where competition over a resource constraint. And there are some also conflict that base or occurred because of the information, lack of disagreement of information, or misinform or misinterpret. And the last one, conflict of task interdependent. This is also happen in the organization where several of the department Department A, they need to fulfill their part before the work can be continued with Department B. Therefore, when this kind of conflict happen, the overall purpose or overall target in accomplishing a task might be hard to be fulfilled. So we need to know about the root or cause of conflict. And here is the classification of conflict. All right, it can be categorized into four. The first two is belong to the conflict that occurred within an individual. Okay, for example, intrapersonal. This is the conflict takes place within an individual. The person experienced in his own or mind. Thus, it is a type of conflict that is psychological, involving the individual's thought, value, principle, and emotion. Okay, the very easy part of intrapersonal conflict, maybe we have the conflict about the restaurant that we would like to go for having our dinner. Okay, this is the intrapersonal conflict, and the most conflict appear between interpersonal, where it means conflict between two individuals. Basically, this occurs because of some differences in people that lead to a disagreement. This is, we need to remember back, we are having a unique personality. We come from different environment, from different culture, from different upbringing. So we have different value, different perception, different way in perceive and also doing anything. So that's why interpersonal conflict can be happen. All right, and another the third and the fourth type of conflict, we can say it is between or within a team. Okay, within a team is intra-group conflict, where the incompatibilities and misunderstanding between teams members lead to intra-group conflict. And the last one, in the organizational environment, there are also intergroup conflict, where it occurs when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization, different teams or different departments. Okay, so this is the classification of conflict. All right, now we go further about the conflict management style. Some of the author, they refer it conflict handling, conflict resolution, right? But it all are actually the same, only the terms that is normally practiced or used by the scholar. So in today's presentation, we use the term conflict management style. All right, conflict management style. Conflict management is a method by which two or more parties find a peaceful solution to the disagreement that occurred between them. So if you notice in my slide, okay, here are the conversation that can be a start of conflict. For example, I'm doing my best at work and what you expect me to do more, all right? So why don't you ask the other team members? So all of the conversation lead to the disagreement regarding one matter or causes of conflict that I have shared just now. So before we go further, okay, we need to know sometimes the way we communicate with friends, it is also depend on the personalities, not only our personality, but also the personality of another party that we are interacted with. Okay, because sometimes on our part, we can try to communicate at the best way, but sometimes the people that we are dealing with may be hard to handle. So it is actually no any conflict management style that are applicable to everybody at every time. So it is depend on the personality of us, the personality of the others, and also the scenario that happened by that time. Okay, now we are going to look in detail about the 5 conflict management style as what have been introduced by Thomas and Kilman. Okay, if you look here, it have been categorized into 5: competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and also accommodating. And if you look at this graph, right, competing has a very high level of assertiveness and low level of cooperativeness. Meanwhile, collaborating, this is a type of conflict management style that has a high level of assertiveness and at the same time, high level of cooperativeness. So in business, in organization, normally we would like to find a solution in the aspect of collaborating. Okay, so if you look at the bottom one, collaborating is the win-win situation. You win and I win. And the next one, compromising, win some and lose some, all right? And that's accommodating. We lose some and let the other party win, all right? But competing is the another way around. We would like to win and let the another party lose. And avoiding conflict management style is where there are no winner or no loser. It means that we remain that conflict unsolved. So it is like the unfinished business. And at the same time, we are going to uh, accommodate with this avoiding type of conflict management. So need to be remembered that none of these style are one size fits all. Okay, and again, it is depend on the level of assertiveness and a level of the cooperativeness. Okay, here is the elaboration or explanation of the first conflict management style, which is collaborating. Okay, this is you win, I win. So this is the most ideal type of conflict management style. All right, so sometimes it depends on the situation. It is not only applicable in the workplace environment, but also in our house, in our daily life, with the spouse, with the kids, right? So this is also the same thing because we are also having a conflict in our personal life, not only in the working life. So in this category of conflict management style, collaborating, it has the high level of assertiveness, high level of cooperativeness. This technique is used in situations where exploring disagreement to learn from each other's side. Okay, so we would like others to also have the ownership of solution. So we need to work through animosity and hard feeling. So we are trying to very hard to make sure that both parties who engage with the conflict have a win solution. Okay, the next one. The next one, you bend, I bend. Okay, or we call it compromising. So this is intermediate. If you look at the right, the graph, it is in the middle, right? Compromising. So this technique can be used in situation where mutual acceptable solution that partially satisfy both party and goals are moderately important. So you lose some, you win some, I lose some, and I win some. So this one we call it compromising. The next one, we call it accommodating. All right, so this one, you win, I lose, or let you win. And normally this is applicable for those who would like to take the harmony as the important purpose of that maybe relationship. So it also can be happen when we realize that we are in the side that it will not win. Okay, so we just let the other party to win and we are the loser in that conflict management style. So that one we call it accommodating. All right, and the fourth one, conflict management style, that called competing. This one is the party or always would like to win and the another party will be the loser for the conflict management. For example, this is very important for most of the bosses or the leader who are dealing with a very hard type of employees that cannot give what we should say. Sometimes when we try to make it down to top, it is hard to be fulfilled. So this type of competing normally is the top down type of instruction, right? And competing is assertive and uncooperative because sometimes we use our power to override any type of idea that are going to raise up by our employees or our colleague. But sometimes this kind of competing management style is very important to make sure the goals can be accomplished. So at the same time, everyone know that you are right. So you can use this competing style and dominated by the person who has strong personality. Normally, it can be reflect on the top level of management, where the say will come from their level of decision. Okay, the last one is avoiding. Avoiding is no winner or no loser. We have the tendency to avoid or to postpone the solution of that conflict. And this technique may be lead to postponing the conflict. However, this type of conflict management might be more harmful in the future. Maybe one of the parties, she or he tried to avoid that problem by that time, but maybe when it was postponed, the party or the anger will be boosted by that party in the future. However, it is reflect on the how important the conflict or the purpose to get the agreement between both parties. So these are the 5 categories or 5 type of conflict management. Okay, competing, collaborating, compromising, accommodating, and avoiding. So now this is the main important part where, based on several empirical research, okay, some of the scholar, they done on the study to connect on how the big 5 personality just now, the ocean, can be met with the way of handling or managing conflict. For example, this study have been done in Hyderabad, India, where this study found that openness, agreeableness, conscientiousness were found to have a significant and positive association with the use of integrating. In another word, integrating is collaborating style of conflict handling. So let's say if we would like to have the collaborating conflict management style, therefore we can alter ourselves to be a person with the personality with high level of openness, agreeableness, and also conscientiousness. Okay, the next finding, which has been presented by this researcher, agreeableness had a significant and positive association with avoiding style. Therefore, if we have one conflict with one party and we would like to avoid that conflict, okay, the last category of conflict handling, so we need to have a high level of agreeableness within ourselves, okay, and how we can project or display or having the high level of agreeableness. Of course, we can look back on the indicator on how we can forming the agreeableness within ourselves. And the next one, conscientiousness was found to have a significant negative relationship with the compromising style of conflict handling. It means that if we have one problem, one conflict, and we would like to use the compromising style, okay, you lose some, I win some, the middle type of conflict management. So we need to enforce ourselves to display or to have a high level of conscientiousness type of personality. And another 4th and 5th finding of this research showing that openness, extraversion, and conscientiousness can be met with dominating or competing style. And the last one, neuroticism and also agreeableness had a significant and positive relationship with the accommodating type of conflict management. Okay, this is not the only research that provide evidences between big 5 personality and conflict management. However, in 2018, this research also have been conducted in India, okay, by Poonam Rani. All right, so this research also showing that extraversion was highly correlated with competing, but low correlated with accommodating, compromising, avoiding, and collaborating, which signified that the introvert managers forced their employees to resolve the conflict. And agreeableness, employees were highly correlated with avoiding and accommodating, but low correlation with competing. It entailed that the managers who agreed with other people try to either avoid or gain something for themselves. And in details, if we look at this correlation analysis, we can know about another personality types that can be met with what type of conflict management style. All right. So these are two papers that I share with you. Actually, there are another paper, okay, here, which have been done to look on the evidences or the link between personality and conflict handling management. This is among the future managers. The second article have been done among students, I guess. And the third one, this have been done in the non-Western context, in the Middle East country, I guess, right? I forgot about the details. And these three papers also showing and evidence that there are significant association between Big Five personality, according to the five facets, five dimensions just now, with the way of how we can handle our conflict. All right. And here, I also would like to share some of my paper, me and my teams, okay, we also conduct a study on Big Five personality and conflict management. For example, the first one, this is in 2022, all right, personality traits and organizational cynicism. Okay, and the next paper we try to add on or to what we call it, we try to project another leadership effectiveness to look the indirect effect between personality traits and also conflict management style. And the last one, we are looking at the job performance as the indirect association between personality traits by focusing on the five element and conflict management style by Thomas and Hillman just now. So all of these have been published in 2020, all right? And this is, we are near to the conclusion actually. So why do I react differently than others in similar situation? And in this presentation, why we are act differently in manage our conflict, right? So of course, because we have several unique in our personality. And now I guess we can alter our personality by knowing at each of the facet. Therefore, we will try to create ourselves, to form ourselves in a desired image of personality. Therefore, it can help us at least in determining or in resolving what kind of conflict that occurred. Maybe in the near future, I would like to bring in how personality can be used in coping stress, in burnout, or in determining the turnover intention. But based on what have been shared just now, we are noticed that, for example, okay, I go back to the previous slide. If I can go back to the previous slide. Okay, like this, all right, moment. Previous slide, for example. Okay, here, extraversion. Okay, extraversion was highly correlated with competing. We know competing is the technique or conflict management style that are related with who has the power, like the example that I give just now. So in order to make sure that we can have the competing conflict management style, we need to enforce ourselves to have a high level of extraversion. So how to got a high level of extraversion? If of course to look at the indicator that shaping extraversion. Okay, so now let me go back to the previous style so we can refresh a bit about what indicator under the extraversion. A moment, okay. So I'm not sure the previous one, or maybe I ensure, and we go back like this. Okay, extraversion. Okay, this one, right? Extraversion. So we need to have this kind of indicator of extraversion in order to let us can be more dominant in displaying the competing conflict management style. Okay, and each of my management style, of course, will engage with another trait of personality according to the empirical evidence which have been brought out by the past researcher. Okay, now I guess that you can understand about what I'm going to tell you during this presentation. So we go to the slide. here, okay, just now we're having this slide. I put it in full. Therefore, in order to make sure that we can take a very appropriate action in handling the conflict, so we can alter our personality type or personality traits by displaying all of the indicator under that domain. Okay, so it is not something that we are not genuine and we are changing and we are not keep ourselves original, but I think we can change ourselves, our personality, if that kind of personality will provide a good benefit not only for us but also for the another party and also the community and also the organizational environment and committees. And also here I would like to share with you, you can do this type of test. This one contains 44 items. You can click at this link later, right? So you can take this test and the result will appear like this. So you will know, this test will reveal yourself in which type of personality that you are belong to. Therefore, you can know how to improve ourselves or yourself in order to make sure can be more appropriate in handling the conflict that always occur in our life. So this link contains the 44 items. This is also another test, all right? 50 item, personality test, 86 item, and 120 item. This test also I have tried before. So once you have done answering the 122 item, the graph like this will appear. So based on that result, we will know in which traits we are having a high level of percentage. And by looking back at the measurement, we will know at what part we need to polish or correct ourselves in order to make sure that we can have a desired type of personality that can create a good benefit to us and also to the people around us. Okay, so although personality refers to the stable characteristic of individual, however, it can still be nurtured based on the learned facet to form our desired personality traits. And as long as it creates a positive impact on us, as well as the other parties, so why don't we change? So we can take the most appropriate decision in choosing the most practical conflict management style, either in the workplace or in our personal life. So I think this only the slide that I have for today's presentation. I would like to thank you for your time and attention. So if you would like to have any kind of further collaboration with me, you are feel free to contact me at this email address, ummi@aliasunimed.edu.my, or you can reach me at this WhatsApp number +6017 5080 656, and I am open to any kind of academic collaboration, supervision, publication, and so forth. So I think that's all for my today's presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, send back to you, Ms. Mubina.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. So if the participants have any questions, you can let us know.
Sorry, I would like to look at the chat box. Okay, I stop the presentation now. Okay.
Okay. I don't think we do have any questions for the excellent session. We have gained a very great number of knowledge from this.
There are one. Thank you very much. All right. So if you would like to have my slide, you are feel free to text me or you can get from the IFERP committee members. I would like to thank you again for your kind attention and see you all soon in another platform. Thank you very much. Thank you to Ms. Bubida as well and all of the IFERP team.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And also thank you for the participants to participating in the pre-conference webinar. We would like to once again share the IFERP's upcoming conferences. The Third International Conference on Engineering, Social Science and Humanities, ICESSU, will be held on 30th and 31st March 2023 at Manila, Philippines. The Fourth International Conference on Multidisciplinary and Current Education Research, ICMCER, will be held on 11th and 12th April 2023 at Bangkok, Thailand. The Sixth International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research, Studies and Education, ICMDRSC, will be held on 19th and 20th of March 2023 at Manila, Philippines. The webinar participants will be getting a special fee concession for the conference registration. They can use the coupon code CLIENT35. We have also shared the coupon code in the chat box. You can also get it from the coordinator. So you can use this coupon code for registration for the above and shared upcoming conferences. We thank all the participants for joining in the webinar. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.